Okay, what's up, guys? My name is Aaron. So I recently saw the Barbie movie. It was pretty good. It wasn't nearly as bad as people were making it out to be. I also just recorded this. I recorded like 10 minutes of fucking gold. It was amazing. And then I ran out of fucking space on my camera. So fuck me. To summarize what I had said, other than what happened in the movie, is that, for one, this is not made for kids. Within the first fucking 10 minutes, you will realize, holy fuck, this movie's not made for kids. Two, don't fucking judge me. I am a man. I am a man with a mustache and everything, and I saw the Barbie movie, and I fucking liked it. Sort of. I mean, it was alright. It wasn't the best fucking movie ever, but it also wasn't the worst fucking movie ever. You know what I'm trying to say? Okay. The people who do not like this movie are dumb. I'm just gonna say that. Like, okay, I'm sorry. The people who are mad at this movie, well, let me rephrase. The people who are mad at this movie are fucking dumb. There are multiple times in this movie where they will blatantly say something like, in the most straight way you can fucking say something. Like, I think there's a part in the movie where Ken said some shit like, yeah, and I bought the patriarchy to Barbie. Like, that, and that's clearly a fucking joke. Because, like, for one, while he did technically do that, it's clearly supposed to be, like, satire. I'm already getting fucking hot. Like, I can't have my AC on because then it fucks up my mic. And I'm hot. I'm actually hot. Because I'm just so fucking mad at these people who don't understand jokes. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to get... I don't like making super long videos. So I'm going to try to make this almost as short as possible. So I'm just going to go ahead and get in. Spoilers, just so you know. I actually didn't say this in the last rendition of this that I recorded that got deleted. So I'm happy that I got this. Spoilers. I will be talking about the movie and the shit that happens in the movie. I'm not going to be going in depth, but if you want to see the movie and don't want any spoilers at all, stop here. So anyway, our movie starts out with Barbie in her Barbie house and Barbie Dreamland with all the other Barbies and all the other Kens and shit like that, which is cool. And this movie is really fucking surreal because you watch her and it's like, she doesn't exactly move like Barbie, like with the fucking stick legs like in Toy Story. But you can clearly see that there's like a child playing with Barbie. There is a scene that everybody knows about, that everybody wanted to go see this movie, including me. It was the Barbie foot scene. It was when, you know, because usually her feet are like up on her tiptoes and... you know, they're not anymore, so it's like fucking weird. So, you know, she fucking lifts up her foot and she's like, I've got flat feet. And the first thing that popped in my head when I saw that scene was MatPat screaming in my ear, Barbie's feet! And if I'm not an asshole, I'll find that fucking scene because it's the funniest, because it was like the funniest thing in the world to me.
Barbie's feet
just started busting out fucking laughing when I fucking saw her foot come up. So some other shit happens. Barbie has to go to the real world because she has to fucking talk to her human that's playing with her, that's like fucking her up and shit like that, giving her fucking flat feet and cellulitis and depression. Anyway, so they go into the real world and then they're in LA, they're in Venice Beach, and they're really fucking brightly colored. I'm pretty sure it's been in the trailers, but like they're really brightly colored. And they're going down the fucking sidewalk. And then everybody knows about that guy that comes up and smacks the fuck out of Barbie's ass. Who the fuck does that? What normal human male, normal human male would just run up to a random blonde lady and fucking, by the way, on skates, so any normal thinking, sane human male would not just... That doesn't happen. Anyway, I'm not mad about it. I just really wanted to point it out because that low-key kind of fucking... It didn't piss me off. I can't say that because I just said I'm not mad, which I'm not. But it was like, it was a thing where I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? Oh, Whoa, shit. So, so they get arrested, and then they got to go out and get normal clothes again, and then they can't pay for it because Barbie doesn't have money. So they get arrested again, and then they get let out again for some fucking reason. They get fingerprinted twice, which I haven't been arrested enough times to know if you get fingerprinted twice. So I think they would maybe just do it once and then cool your fingerprints on file. I don't know, but whatever. Anyway, so Barbie sits down and she's like, Ken, just leave me alone. Let me think. And then Ken goes off, and I'll talk about him in a minute. But Ken goes off and does his thing. And then Barbie sits down and she's thinking about the memories of the fucking girl who used to play with her. And then she goes up to a fucking high school, a grown woman with a white cowboy hat and a very pink outfit. And Ken, by the way, because Ken goes off and does his own thing, but I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. And then Ken comes back. Then they both go to, both of them, these grown human beings that look straight out of a Barbie movie or just the Barbie playset, walk into this fucking high school. And there's this really awkward moment where Barbie's like, I'm Barbie. And they're like, what the fuck? No, you're not. And then here's another one of those satirical things that happens, where the girl that's supposed to be playing with Barbie, even though she's not, says like, you're a fascist. And it's like, that is so fucking clearly a joke, because any normal human in their right mind does not just call random fucking people a fascist, especially a kid in high school. Ken, dude, Ken is my favorite fucking character in this fucking movie. And it's because he's like over the top. It's kind of hard to say because on one hand, Ken does kind of become an asshole. But on the other hand, it's just kind of fun watching him figure out how much this world just fucking loves men. Ken does bring the patriarchy to Barbie Land, and he does actually kind of become an asshole. I'm not gonna lie. He takes over Barbie's dream house and just kind of just low-key becomes an asshole. He just starts like ignoring her almost, and you know, drinking beers and talking about truck month and that kind of shit, like that stereotypical male shit, which is funny. I like, it's not funny that he's being an asshole, but it's kind of funny watching Ken go from Ken to like truck month. You know, that was fucking hilarious. But I do want to get serious. There is this scene in the movie, and I'm going to read what I have written down in my script. So you're going to watch me like look at my screen, but it's because it's important, because it's actually one of my favorite moments in this movie. And I'm going to explain why afterwards. So Ken has this really good moment where he tells Barbie that when they went to the real world, people respected him. People asked him for the time, which is crazy to Ken, because at the beginning of the movie, none of the Barbies respected any of the Kens. They were constantly, you know, fucking blowing them off, not in the good way. And you know, they were just totally fucking stone forward fucking ignoring them, right? And Ken was constantly trying to impress Barbie, and Barbie didn't give a fuck at all. She was constantly like, oh, yeah, you know, doing that kind of shit, doing that over-the-top, stereotypical shit. Anyways, Barbie gets mad and tells him to leave, but Ken just brushes it off. Ken's like, fuck it, whatever. Saying that this is Ken's house, and it's not Barbie's house anymore, which is a callback to the beginning of the movie, where the roles were reversed, where Ken wanted to stay at Barbie's house. Barbie was like, it's girls' night every night, and Ken's never allowed, or whatever. And that really fucking hurt Ken, because Ken's in love with Barbie. Even though at the end of the movie we find out that Barbie isn't in love with Ken. But communication, you know, it's treating each other like an equal, which is, I think, what this movie is kind of trying to get at, but we'll get there in a minute. So, sorry, I'm not reading this, I'm fucking adding to it, but it's because it's important. Anyways, so, because he says, you know, this is Ken's house, not Barbie's house, she starts to cry. So he says, how does that feel? It doesn't feel very good, does it? And you can clearly see that Ken does not like hurting Barbie, especially her feelings. He doesn't like doing it, but it's like getting payback. So Barbie gives up. She just kind of lays there. She does like Barbie things, like she sits down, but she sits down like really flat with her skirt splayed out. And then when she lays down, she doesn't lay down like normal. Like her feet, she's sitting. Okay, this is gonna seem weird, but like she's sitting, and then when she lays down instead of having like her feet do that. Her feet are just it's just Barbie like, you know, because she's fucking plastic, right? And then, you know, the girl that was supposed to be playing with Barbie is like, oh my god, Barbie gave up, cool, whatever. And then they go to fucking leave, and then before they leave, her daughter is like, no, we gotta save Barbie Land. Which, by the way, they do, because you can't just let Ken take over everything, but you also shouldn't let Barbie have control over everything. See what I'm trying to get at? Anyway, it feels very forced. It feels like they're trying to be like it didn't come naturally. I wouldn't even really mind if it felt kind of forced, if it at least came somewhat naturally. But that's just me. Anyway, I'm going to kind of breeze over that, right? It does feel fucking weird, though. A lot of other stuff happens after this. The fucking Kens get into a fight. The Barbies devise this fucking plan to get them to fight so that they can take back Barbie Land and shit like that, right? And there's not a lot happening. It's just Kens fighting other Kens for some reason, which it's this weird like fucking clash, because the Barbies had their plan go into effect, which was supposed to make like this half of the Kens fall in love with them and then leave them for this half of the Kens. So now they're fighting to just distract. They have this really weird dance battle, which I didn't think I was gonna like, which I kind of didn't, but I mean, it's alright. It seems very Ken-like. This is gonna be the end of the video. But this is a fucking long ass video from what I normally do. But it's very important, and I'm gonna read this again. Afterward, they come back to see Barbie Land is pink and girly again, and Ken runs back into Barbie's house and starts to cry. At first, I was fucking furious. I was like, no fucking way are they doing this shit. But that's when Barbie follows him in and actually apologizes to him and says, I am sorry for taking advantage of you. Because he's crying and he's saying, you know, I just wanted to be cool. You know, I just wanted this to be a bit more like the real world because I'm tired of just basically being fucking stepped on. She says, I'm sorry for taking advantage of you and taking you for granted. Like verbatim, I'm sorry for taking you for granted. And I was feeling good, right? Telling him that having a cool house and a hot girlfriend doesn't give him value. What gives him value is just being him, is the fact that he's Ken. And Ken is fucking Ken. Which in turn is telling herself that you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have beautiful hair. You don't need to have a beautiful house or a perfect life to just love yourself. So please, give this movie a break. It's not that bad. And go watch it. Because it's pretty cool.